What are you going to do to unravel yourself? It's going to be these things. So you have to view them as, well, snares. They're traps. Okay. And there's no shame in identifying what they are and what they're triggering, bases or foundations are rooted on. That's the thing that you need to be aware of. Everybody has them. Everyone has them. Some of you listening right now, it might be the fact that you don't have a partner or a spouse that's supportive of what you're doing, and you simply just want to make money to prove it and shove it down their throat and say, see, this is the reason why I got to look at all these charts. I got to listen to this goober go on and on and on and listen to his rants, because this shit will work if I just submit to it. That's why you're doing it. You're trying to prove to them in an expedient manner that it's worth your time doing it, when they don't think it's worth their time waiting around for you to figure out whether or not you can do it or not, when they've already had it in their mind that you ain't going to be successful at it. So I understand how to balance all that stuff is very difficult. But he, as my son, he's got youth on his side. He has time on his side. But because of video game playing and the tendency to play these games, and when you get killed in the game, oh, well, there's no time and no real loss. I mean, just respawn and there it is. Or I got to wait the time limit for the game to conclude, and a new game will start up. So that's the mindset that he has. And that, to me, is why I think viewing trading as a video game is the stupidest fucking idea anybody could ever employ. Because it tricks you into thinking, well, all I gotta do is respawn. You can do that when you're doing market replay. You can do that when you're demo trading. But when you're trying to do something like a combine, if it's a funded account approach that you're going, or if you're trying to trade with real money, whether it be a lot of money or a little bit of money, those rules don't apply. You have to treat this like a business. When you go to work, okay, when you go to work, do they let the employees that you work among do whatever the hell they want to do? Now, maybe at McDonald's they might do that shit, but they ain't doing it generally in a Fortune 500 company. And there's some structure there. There's some limits and boundaries as how far you can misbehave or waste time or be inefficient. And you are the boss. You're the CEO. You are the human resource manager. You're in charge of everything of you incorporated. So you have to have all of these hats as a trader. You're the analyst, you're the trader, and you are the person that is in charge of where you're going. You're it. You're at the helm, you're the captain, and you either sink or sail based on what you and your decisions result in. So if you go into it with a Mickey Mouse approach that, hey, let's see what happens. You know what they say, F around and find out. The longer you F around, you're going to eventually find out. And he found out rather quickly that he couldn't do what he thought it was. Oh, it's a video game. It's a video game. It's just like, oh, it's like that game, that snake game. Because I used the analogy before. Slither IO, I think that's what it is, or something like that, or Snake IO. Where this little snake you start out with, you go around, you get these little dots. Some of the dots are bigger, some of them are smaller. And as you eat these things on the game, your body as a snake grows larger, and you're not allowed to touch another snake. Or, yeah, you can't touch their body, but you can make them run into yours, and then they disintegrate and you can eat them. Or you can't run into a wall or you die. So there's two simple rules there. The larger you get, the harder it gets. That's the same thing with trading. The things that you can do with a very small account, you can be very nimble with a very small account, less than $50,000, less than $100,000. You can do a whole lot of stuff with an account like that. When you start trading with $50 million and higher, you just can't do those types of things. You have to be a lot more reserved in what you're trying to do, and you got to be more aware of what you're trying to protect. In the beginning, it's a little bit of money. It's, 2% ain't that much. It's not that much. So I sat down with him today. I said, listen, one of the best things you can do is appreciate the fact that your first trade Whether you were right or wrong about the reason why you didn't, I don't care about that. The fact that you saw and you identified that $244 is more than half of your net bring home pay per week at your job. So I want you to think about that when you go to work and you're looking around at the people that irritate you, the people that aren't doing as much as you are. You choose to be there because you haven't done the work. And I reminded him all the times when he was younger. I said, those videos are there. You watch them. And when you have questions, I will sit down with you. Nope. Video games is the only thing he's interested in.